Hey guys, what's going on? In this video, we're talking about the Rylo 360 camera, and in general, if 360 filmmaking is something that you should start thinking about. So 360 is something that's new, it's interesting, it's a completely different way of telling your story, but is it something that, is easily consumable? So one of the issues with 360 is the way that you have to put on your VR headset and be immersed in the world. There's definitely some applications where I think 360 is awesome and it's a very cool experience. However, I think for like the general consumer, 360 is kind of foreign. Like you have to put on these goggles and you have to really immerse yourself in the content to be able to get the full experience. Nowadays, most content is being consumed on phone, tablets, etc. People want to get stuff on the go, they want quick snippets. So 360, because of its nature, you have to really immerse yourself. Not saying that 360 is something that's bad or something that's going to go away. I think 360 is here to stay. Personally, I'm interested in 360 for a few reasons. One is that the whole 360 world of filmmaking is something that interests me for immersing people in the places that I travel. I go to some of these exotic locations, I go climb mountains, I go deep into the jungle. To really show someone what it's like in that environment would be such a cool thing to be able to do if it's easily accessible. And the second reason I'm interested in 360 is the fact that you have a 360 view. If you're shooting traditional, 16:9, you can pull from anywhere in that 360 and get like some really cool, unique shots. But one of the things that's been an issue up until I've, started playing with this camera is the fact that it's not easily accessible to do 360. Final Cut recently released some updates that allow you to, work in the 360 environment, which is huge, but having a camera that's easy to capture that and then bring it into your software and edit makes a world of a difference. So the Rylo is kind of a unique piece of equipment where it shoots 360, but it gives you an app in your phone where it allows you to edit the footage in a way where you can point the direction of your camera in a traditional format like 16:9 and then export that video to be able to use for the edit. All right, so first things first, let's talk about this camera. It's very simple. There's basically a button on the top and a button on the front. The button on the top is to turn on the camera, turn off the camera, and then start recording or take a photo. And the button on the side basically changes from photo to video. That's it. There is not a lot of fluff on this camera. And that's one of those things that I talk about all the time is if something's simple and if it's easy to use, I'm going to use it. And that goes for most people. If something's accessible and easy to use, you're going to end up using it. So the fact that it's, the size of a GoPro, I can turn it on, click, grab the shot, move on. I'm not having to deal with a bunch of menus or anything like that. It makes a world of a difference. It honestly only took me a few minutes to figure this out in my office, and then I was ready to go and start shooting and really start pushing this camera and see what I can do with it. Let's go out into the trails. Let me show you what this camera can do, and let's go play with the 360 environment. So one of the things I really want to test with this camera is, audio one, because I want to know if you can capture decent audio with this thing in this kind of setting. It's a small little camera, about the size of a GoPro, and there's not any like windscreens or anything on that, just the little hole. And then the second thing I really wanted to test was beyond the 360, beyond all the features this camera comes with, is the contrast. You can really tell if a camera is something you'll use. If it can handle a high contrast scene. When I'm up climbing, you're gonna have the sun blazing like this unless it's cloudy. And I need to know that this thing can capture some decent footage. Alright, let's look at the stabilization. So this thing stabilizes the footage. So I'm gonna go off trail here and get a little rough with it, see how this works. And I'll show you, with stabilization on versus off. Okay.
running up rocks, definitely, it's not the easiest thing. Don't want to fall. Yeah, when I'm climbing, not necessarily going to be running, but I am climbing with a 70-pound pack. So that's why I'm training like this. Try to put as many steep miles as I can on my legs, because that's the best way to train for something like this. I want to test how good this tracking is. So I'm on my face, and small movements, yes, but what happens when I spin it? Just spinning the camera. I'm pretty excited about this little camera and the fact that 360 is now so easy to work with in a traditional filmmaking world, but also now I have the ability to shoot in a 360 environment and start creating some content like that, and in a way that's easy and something that I'm actually going to do.
Alright, so let's talk workflow for a minute. So the way you work with this camera is, it's simple, but it's a little bit more than just dropping the footage in Final Cut and editing. What you need to do is connect the Rylo to your phone, and it will automatically pop up with all your footage that's on the Rylo versus what's on your phone. And you hit the button and it downloads into your phone. Now from there, you could go through, start editing, and you have to do your camera movements and your tracking and all that in the Rylo software. It's just very intuitive, and it makes it really easy to scrub around and do what it is that you want. It almost feels more organic in the way of filmmaking, and that's something personally I think that Apple is missing with the whole editing world, is that if you connected your tablets to a computer and gave you that ability to really use your fingers and do lots of these big sweeping movements on a tablet, it would take editing to the next level. I can't imagine what it would be like to be able to just use my hands and just, it would be awesome. But like I was saying, so you're in the phone, you do your edits, and then you hit export, and that exports to your phone. From there, I just airdrop these videos to my computer, and there you go, you drop them in your timeline, and you could keep going on your traditional forms of editing what you normally do. So you just have that extra step where you have to bring the footage from the camera into your phone, and then from your phone do some edits, do all your movements, put it back into your computer, and then you're good to go. It makes it really easy instead of having to figure out how to keyframe everything in a 360 environment and make it work in a traditional style of editing on a timeline. I way prefer this, and it's something that personally I'm going to use all the time. When I'm out climbing or on an adventure or something, I could quickly do some Instagram stories and really capture the environment by saying like, here's what's going on, maybe do a little vlog on my face, flip it, show what's going on, or like I'm doing an adventure and you could see the camera swinging around, and it takes a few seconds doing your phone, hit export, and you can upload to Instagram. I could do something, upload, put it onto my computer. I could use that same clip, switch it to horizontal, throw it to my computer, and now it's in one of my YouTube vlogs. So I think Rylo really has something special here, something that makes the whole 360 environment easy to use and something that you actually will use. So if you're gonna ask me, am I gonna start using a 360 camera? The answer is yes. And I think the more that filmmakers and content creators start playing in this 360 environment, the more that people will There's going to be new ways of telling stories that are going to be coming out, and people are going to start getting creative with how to use the 360. So I'd love to know your thoughts on 360 and this camera in particular, the Rylo. Leave me a comment down below. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got lots of awesome filmmaking tutorials, camera reviews, vlogs, travel stuff. There's a ton of content on this channel, and I want to create some cool stuff, and I want to keep creating content for you guys that will help you as a creator or inspire you to go travel. Also, go find me on Instagram at Jeven Dovey. Shoot me a message if there's anything in particular that you want to see on this channel. And guys, I will see you on the next one.